Hey, good people, math is the blackest thing ever. Welcome to the Inspiring Black Math Genius Show with your host, Freddie Taylor, and Sister Assata Moore. Hey, Sister Assata, how are you doing today?
I am having a great day today. How about you, Brother Freddie?
I'm having a good one. The team is ready. We're all ready to get into a great discussion today, talking about Pythagoras My Assets, right?
There you go, right. Reclaiming our assets here.
There we go. Reclaiming our assets and reclaiming the right. Well, let me let you explain. Let's go back. What are we talking about with Pythagoras and reclaiming our assets?
Yeah, I mean, take a look at your textbooks and you see all these Greeks, Euclid, Pythagoras, so on and so forth, with being credited with giving us mathematics, all this complex mathematics. The only thing, the major thing is that they left out where these people learned from. So Pythagoras was a great student of the Black Egyptians. And remember, the Egyptians referred to their land as Kemet, meaning land of the blacks. So Pythagoras learned in Egypt.
Wait. He learned the Pythagoras theorem in Egypt? It wasn't...
2,030 years, right. Think about it. 2,030 years before he was born. So we know he didn't start using this when he was born, right? So right. 2,030 years before he was born, the king's chamber inside the Khufu's pyramid, Khufu, Khafre, Menkaure, those three pyramids, it was already complete and built.
Yes.
They used it specifically, it was 10, 15, and 20. They were already using a squared plus b squared and c squared. And they made it more complex than what we use today. The way that they dropped the lines, use it, then they used that to draw the diagonal because they wanted all the measurements and everything to be precise. And we're going to get into some facts. They were obsessed with precision, obsessed with it.
I love it because I just like the truth, right? I love sharing the truth with people, and especially with our children. They need to grow up learning and knowing the truth, particularly about history and who brought mathematics to the world. So I'm rocking my shirt. Guess who taught the Greeks? That's right, good people. They always getting the credit,
right.
But that's not true, right? They learned at the feet of the Africans, of which they said, right?
If you go back and read their textbooks, you could look at those old textbooks. They give credit.
Yes. They know who their teachers are. It's time for us to know, right? But I know you wanted to get into some facts today, right? So we're gonna get down to some nitty gritty details. You got 12 of them. Can we let's start diving into it?
Yeah, we're gonna dive in, but people understand that this is gonna sound heavy, so you're gonna want to rewind and listen to this again and pay particular attention to man. If we're struggling with this, with all of the technology and the resources that we have at this day and age, imagine how brilliant, that's why I had to represent my genius shirt today. Imagine how brilliant they were to be doing this without iPhones, without computers, without all of this technology. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We're talking thousands of years ago. So let's jump into the facts, the mathematics of the pyramid.
Love it.
The first one. The height of the pyramid is 149.4 meters. And the distance between the Earth and the sun is that same ratio, 149.4 million kilometers. So remember I spoke about this obsession they have with precision. Right. What they were doing was they wanted their numbers to be precisely coordinated to the Earth and the sun. All right. And if you all remember, if you go back to the first episode, we talked about that lunar calendar and this thing that they had with astronomy. Okay.
Yes.
The circumference of the pyramid divided by the height of the pyramid equals 3.14. You all are familiar with that number if you've gone through high school so far. That's pi. Yeah. This number is considered an unusual number in mathematics. Okay. And it's used extensively, not only in math, but also in physics and engineering. Black people were using this thousands of years ago. The pyramid was lit at night because it was coated with a radioactive substance. Radioactive substance, what are they knowing about this thousands of years ago? The ascending passage, here's one that I like. The ascending passage angles off at a degree of 26 degrees and 17 minutes from the descending passage. That's the precise angle for light reflection.
Wow.
The precise angle for light reflection.
Wow.
The position of the three pyramids is equivalent to three stars in the sky called the Belt of Orion. It has precise alignment to true north. And we know back in the days when we were escaping from the South, we were using this true north concept. Look at that connection there.
Yeah.
And
I love the connecting to the universe and world around them. Like, it's just really not about creating beautiful structures, right? There's something else that they're teaching. What number are we on? I know you're going to 12.
We're on number 4. We got two more here that I want to jump into before. Yes. And so here's the thing, that alignment, they're only off by a half degree. In Paris, the Paris Observatory, they're off by more than 6 minutes.
Wow.
And remember, that's 60 degrees in a minute. So it's drastically off.
And that's with all this modern technology, right?
With all the modern tech and having a blueprint. They could even study and still get it right? So the 4 corners of the base of the pyramid point to the original directions of the earth in an amazing accuracy that made scientists adjust their calculations. So scientists in the 20th century went back and adjusted their calculations based off what the Egyptians had done thousands of years before them.
Fascinating.
Okay, right. The pyramid is 3,023 feet, which is precisely equal to the perimeter of the pyramid, 1/2 a minute of a degree of latitude at the equator, or 143,200. 1 to 43,200. Remember that number, 43,200. And it's going to come up a few more times, and I'm going to stop right there. That number there, I mean, you're just going to be blown away by what. And I'm like, how did they do all of this without telescopes and all of the technology that we have?
Look, I had to write it down, 43,200, right? I took a note.
200, yes.
I got it written down.
Say that again. The perimeter is directly related to the polar circumference of the Earth. The polar circumference. And I'm looking at some polar mathematics the other day of this young mathematician doing some stuff on the polar math of cryptocurrency. So mathematics that the Egyptians were using, thousands of years ago, we're still using to this day and for in the future, because cryptocurrency, that's our future that's coming to us.
I love how passionate you are about mathematics. Sister, and history, right? Like, it really comes out of you.
I'm reading about polar coordinates the other day, right?
Yeah, for fun, right? This is what you do in your leisure time. But we know math is the blackest thing ever, right? And we want to invite y'all. Yeah, we want to invite y'all to join us inside of the Black Math Genius program, of which Sister Assata is the teacher and is the great mind behind it. Sister Assata, can you tell them some of your credentials that you've put in, right, that makes you qualified to not only teach the Black Math Genius program, but to inspire children to go on to do great things as well?
Yeah, I would say better than my credentials. Just some of the students I spoke to this week, right? Their credentials on top of my credentials, right? And so I'm speaking to one of my students earlier, and engineering student. They didn't have NSBE at his college. So he's the founding president of NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers, at his college. He was a knucklehead on the streets of Chicago. And I'm like, hey, you're going to do my engineering program. I have another student. She was originally from Ghana. She graduated from Stanford University. She took my engineering class as well. She went back to first Senegal and then to Ghana because her project, she wants to help bring in, water and plumbing to the villages of where she's from. So those are just two examples. One of my other young students that I'm helping to get her into buying her first new home, she's an engineer with some company out by O'Hare Airport here in Chicago. So my credentials is that when you do this stuff, when you do this Black Math Genius stuff, it prepares them for fixing the problem that we have. And that is that there's a huge, number one, wealth gap. But that wealth gap is directly tied to the math gap that we have. And when we get them prepared mathematically, not only do they choose careers that are going to prepare the world and contribute to the world, but they also make sure that they're straight. Because at the end of the day, we want to be straight. We want to be mentally straight, physically straight, and all of that is directly connected to what our finances look like. So this ain't just about them doing well in school. This is about them having a quality life for their families and to be able to pass wealth down to generations. It doesn't get any more critical than that.
It doesn't at all. That was deep. I love it. Space. Thank you for that, sister. I appreciate it. Hey, join us inside the Black Math Genius program. You can check it out at blackmathgenius.com. Hey, let's jump back into your list of 12 facts that you were going to share with us while we're reclaiming our assets. Right?
Absolutely.
So let's dig in a little more with number 7, I believe. Well, you told us to remember 43,200.
Remember that number, because I'm gonna hit it a few more times. And here's the thing, let me put some credentials out here since I'm covering the mathematics of the pyramids. This ain't just from a book, you all. I've been to Egypt 3 times. That temple of Dendera that they took out of one of the temples in Egypt, Hathor Temple. I went to the Louvre in Paris. I've been to the Egyptian Museum in Barcelona. I've seen the Egyptian stuff. We were doing a tour in a museum in Russia. So this is me going to these places and studying. I've taken students to study the mathematics of the pyramids. So this ain't me just regurgitating some things that I've Googled. Right. Okay, this is experience. So let's jump back into it, and you're holding on to that number 43,200. A measurement of the pyramids perimeter, including the outermost sockets, right? Again, yields a length of 3,043.8 feet, which is precisely equal to 1 minute of a degree of the longitude. So again, or 1 to 43,200 of the equatorial circumference of the Earth. So first we looked at the polar circumference. Now we're looking at the equatorial circumference of the Earth. The entire pyramid rests on a platform which is more than 755 feet in length and level to within 4/5 of an inch. I said level. There are people that will come in and put drywall in your home and the walls won't be level, right? Right. And they did this with a pyramid to 4/5 of an inch. Wow. The height of the pyramid plus the height of its base platform, 482.7571 feet, is equal to, again, 1 to 43,200 of the polar radius of the Earth, or what is the distance from the center of the Earth to the North Pole. What are they knowing about the North Pole? But let's keep going, because we say we want to keep these short. We can stay in here for hours. Yes. It should be noted that the repetition of the formula 1 to 43,200 in the 3 measurements is intentional and relates to the size and the shape of the Earth. Wow. There are 360 degrees in a circle, 60 minutes in a degree, and 2 half minutes in 1 minute. When you multiply those numbers, you get 43,200. Wow. They're doing everything that they were building. They wanted it to align perfectly to the Earth. Talk about paying homage, paying respect to Mother Earth. Wow. Okay. And here we're arguing over climate change. But again, let's keep moving, right? Yeah. The square of the vertical height is also the same as 1/2 the pyramid's base width. And what this is the golden ratio phi. They use this in this Fibonacci sequences when they're charting and doing graphs. See how all of this mathematics that came from, remember we said in the last episode, Black women gifted, and we're still using this stuff to this day. Yes. The next one. The dimensions of the king's chamber, here it is, 15, 20, and 25. Divide all of those by 5, you get 345. Sounds familiar, which shows they had knowledge of the Pythagorean theorem more than 2,060 years before he was born. Last one.
Guess who taught the Greeks, right?
Guess who taught the Greeks? There is more stone in the Great Pyramid than in all of the cathedrals, churches, and chapels built in England since the time of Christ. Wow. And look at how precise. I've been to some of these churches, and some of them are falling apart. They're off balance, so on and so forth. Yes. Egyptian stuff is solid. It's solid.
Solid as a rock, right? Both intellectually.
Solid as billions of rocks.
Yes, right. Intellectually right. and as far as the engineering, right? Like amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing stuff. Thank you, sister, for sharing all of that with us. My mind is blown as usual. And thank you again for your passion for mathematics. I love it. Mathematics and history. You got any final words for the good people before we close out this episode?
Yeah, I mean, it's critical, but this program is also fun. I mean, I looked at some of the students that used it this past summer and hearing the feedback from their parents of how they stayed in it. and they just wanted to keep coding even when they got home. One little kid, he was sick, and mom was like, stay home. You don't have to go to the Black Math Genius program. He's like, nah, I got to be there. I want to make it. I mean, so the engagement that it brings out of your young people. If you have a young person that doesn't like math or they're afraid of mathematics, they probably won't tell you they're afraid of it, but they saying that they don't like it, this program will get them to a different level to where they enjoy mathematics.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, sister. One more time, y'all can sign up and join us at blackmathgenius.com, learn more about it, and to take advantage of our special offer, blackmathgenius.com. Don't forget to check it out. So until next time, good people, we'll catch you on the next episode of Inspiring Black Math Geniuses. For Sister Assata Moore, I'm Freddie Taylor. Until then, love, peace, and black power, good people. All right, and while I have you here, take a moment to download our free mobile app, Raising Proud Black Children. You can search for it on the App Store or the Google Play Store, or you can just go to sankofaclub.com/app. You can review our episodes of the Black Math Genius, but also engage our social network and our community as well. So until then, good people, we'll see you inside of the app. Take care and God bless.